So these are all the PowerPoints are. Can you actually see it? Because it's very small. Yeah. Our introductory sessions for undergraduate education studies. So first year education studies. So they're very, very introductory. So I'm not going to ask you to teach about quantum mechanics or something like that, right? So even if it's a topic like, I don't know, intelligence or Kant, you don't know anything about, it's still introductory. So in principle, you will be able to say something about what you see on the PowerPoint, right? Who would like to give it a try? Well, you want to start?
Good day. Today we're going to talk about education management and leadership. This is an introduction, so I'm just going to give you some nice kind of way into the practicalities and maybe the kind of also questions that we might have when it comes to the question of or topic of management and leadership. So what does it mean to manage? What does it mean to lead? Actually, I'm a session leader, so I should know something about this. So today, so we're gonna, first, of course, we're gonna discuss how important it is to manage and lead education anywhere in K through 12 settings and also in universities. And then we're going to discuss how, what kind of concepts could we use to lead and manage education. And then we're going to discuss kind of like what kind of qualities and behaviors and competencies a true leader needs, right? And so I have some questions that you might want to think of in terms of like what kind of leadership, what is leadership, right? What is it? And how does it differ from management, right? So as a leader, do I manage? Or as a manager, do I lead? You can think about that because this is actually, because as a leader, I'm just going to lead this whole thing through. I'm not going to ask you. You have to just kind of like think them in your minds. And also, of course, another thing is like what makes an effective 21st century leader? In this century, we know that we need those skills, those 21st century skills, and we all know them, and we should know them by heart. And that's something that we should think how they manage us, right? And how do we manage them? So leader can manage, right? And a manager can lead, or can. And this is my first question to you. Do you think that a manager is a leader? Yes. Not necessarily. Okay, thanks. Because I'm going to lead this through. So here we have this different kind of, so a leader, as we said, a leader leads, right? But a manager is more like a planner, right? Right? So you manage, you kind of, you help the leader, right? In some cases, it would be great to have a manager and leader, you know, as a like, you know, combined as one person. But sometimes it's also good to have like just a leader, right? So in that sense, you need managers. You need a lot of them, as we know nowadays in universities, they're full of managers. And also in schools, there are people who manage us. Manage you guys, because I'm a leader. So, yes, that's important. And then I think it's also important that leaders align people. Yes, they align people. And kind of like make them, again, kind of desire that common goal and set themselves in relation to that goal. And it's so there's that motivation and inspiring thing and controlling, which goes more to that manager stuff. But am I good? Okay. No. So that was it? Okay, thank you. Okay, all right.
Enlightenment and modernity 2. So y'all are all familiar with the very basic introduction that I gave you last lecture. And now we really drill down into Immanuel Kant. So let's see what's happening. Oh, that's a lot of text. Okay. All right off the bat, let's take us back in time, 1724. Immanuel Kant is born. I'm just going to read a little bit so that, I'm sure that we're all familiar with this. One of the most important figures in Western philosophy. Radical break with traditional thought, more radical than Descartes, which defines how philosophy looks today. Super helpful. Okay. More radical than Descartes. Would be helpful if I knew something about Descartes. All contemporary philosophy is post-Kantian, so to speak. You are either in favor of Kant, as most Anglophone analytical philosophers, or you hate him, as most continental philosophers do. Okay, so this is a love-or-hate relationship that we're starting here. There's a dynamic between these two warring factions. And what Copernicus did for astronomy, not the Earth, but the sun is in the middle of the universe, Kant did for philosophy. Okay, so we're drawing this connection between Copernicus and Kant in terms of their earth-shattering realizations, the things that they have done for their fields, a complete reversal of our normal way of understanding ourselves and the world. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the Enlightenment. Hopefully we will enlighten ourselves on the Enlightenment. Entertainment is man's enlightenment, not entertainment. I can read. Is man's emergence from his self-imposed immaturity. Self-imposed immaturity, very interesting. Immaturity is the inability to use one's understanding without guidance from another. I like this connection to the leadership talk we just had. We need some guidance from another person. That is our immaturity, and we grow out of that, with time. This immaturity is self-imposed when its cause lies not in the lack of understanding, but in the lack of resolve and courage to use it without guidance from another. But in lack of resolve and courage to use it without guidance from another. Phrase. I have courage to use your own understanding. That is the motto of enlightenment. Interesting. Oh my God. Okay. Okay, so we're going back and forth from these big ideas to these kind of more granular. I want to make sure we just all really understand Kant's life, his background. And I'm just, things that happened, sorry, things that happened during his lifetime. So this isn't his biography. These are just to give context. There's a lot happening in the world right now to form his thoughts and his opinions, the independence of the United States, the French Revolution, the death of Mozart, Haiti gains independence from France. Lots of independence seeking in his time. Lots of breaking off, lots of rupture happening. And apart from his well-known Enlightenment manifesto, yes, very, very well-known, I know it very well, Kant is very famous for 3 books which form the entire core of his thought. It's around science, ethics, and art, so the intersections of all of these 3 major fields: critique of pure reason, critique of practical reason, and critique of judgment, and how they all he's really critical. He's a very critical person. Next to this, Kant has also written on education, notably on how the German university should be reformed, but also on upbringing children. sounds like a really yabba-do time right there. Right. Oh, look at his puppet. I love that. All right. So to judge something as okay, critique is not necessarily a negative thing. Critique is just how we talk about things. Most notably, I think, and when we learn how to like critique in art, it's not good, it's not bad, it's just how we talk about what is in front of us. So let's break that notion of critique as an immediately negative thing. It is just a conversation that we're having. Or critique is, oh, I should have read further. That's not what he's saying at all. Or critique is positive. I can't, yeah. Thank you.